Welcome back, everybody. We are back for the 4 o'clock session. I think it is right now, right? I can't even remember what time or dimension I'm in anymore. It's Stephanie Lodge. I am the Hug Angel, and I am joined by one of my bestie partners in shine, Dame Sandra Biskind. Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you, beautiful one. And just for those watching, know that my husband and I, from the moment we met Stephanie Lodge, we called her Steph Angel because there was nothing else we could call her. And so thank you for allowing us to actually name and claim you as an earth angel on this planet with us right now.
Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. That means a lot. I remember in session one time, Sandra and I were in a meditation group that we do, and she was tuning in. You are an angel. And I said, well,
Exactly.
it happens. And there's a little ding on that I'm going to quit my mail browser now, so we don't get those dings. But I want to introduce Sandra to everybody so that you have a little bit of an understanding of why I love this woman so much and why she's so dear to my heart, because we've known each other for a few years now. I mean, it's been a while. And of course, closing my mail browser, I closed your bio, so let me just do that. But I want to say, when Sandra and I met, we were on a boat, and someone told me about her meditation group, and she took a look at me like, "Who are you? Do I want you in my circle?" And I said, "You want me in your circle." And then we sat together. And when I got there, she looked at me. She's like, "Oh yeah, we wanted you in the circle."
So, Stephanie, what's an interesting thing for everybody listening to us today is that we were on a boat. I wasn't feeling well because I'm not good on boats, and Stephanie was so sick.
Wow,
and she was downstairs, and she had the hoodie, a grey hoodie on, and green from seasickness. And I looked and I went, oh no.
Well, I was trapped in the bathroom for a good 10 minutes that nobody knew it. And there's a pole in there, and I was joking that I was pole dancing in the bathroom because the waves were crazy.
Yeah.
But that's another story for another day. I want to just say, so let me, everybody, just open your hearts for a moment as I share this beautiful being with you. Dame Sandra Biskind is a global spiritual teacher, a keynote speaker, and the co-author of 4 international #1 best-selling books, including Codebreaker, Discover the Password to Unlock the Best Version of You. A global award-winning businesswoman, Sandra inspires, enlightens, and empowers people to fulfill their extraordinary human potential so they can be more prosperous, fulfilled, and have a greater impact in the world. Knighted in 2017 for her work to help end suffering, she is known as profound energy master and transformational leader's leader. Sandra has the ability to access the human emotional field on a quantum level to reveal your core soul issues and delete their dysfunctional impact on your life. For the past 40 years, Sandra has attuned people to the enlightenment frequency of unconditional love, which changes brain state, and facilitating higher levels of awareness and success as well. And I'm just going to say this, that Jack Canfield, for those of you who know him from The Secret and the co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul series, he says that Sandra is the real deal, and he highly recommends anybody to their work and her work and Daniel's, because we talk about Daniel as well, which is her husband, another partner in shine, beautiful man. And you have an amazing ability to shift energy and remove blocks on a very deep level, according to Jack, which I already know because I've experienced it myself. So again, everybody, welcome Sandra.
Thank you, everybody. It's really, I think it's just an honor to be here. When we collaborate in any way, shape, or form, as leaders, and by the way, you are all leaders if you're watching this. When you collaborate in any way, shape, or form, it's very important for the world, because what you're doing is you're amplifying an energy field that is meant to heal not only ourselves and our families, but the world. And right now, and I know every generation says right now we need it more than ever, right? Mm-hmm. And I understand that is the case, but we are in a very unusual time in the history of humanity, and things are happening that haven't been able to happen before now because of science and the incredible things that science knows now, whether they be used for good or not, and the technologies that are available to us that have never been available to us before. So right now we are in a time in history that has not ever happened before. And we have to adapt as human beings. We have to be able to change. We have to be able to create a stronger light energy frequency for ourselves and the world. Otherwise, quite frankly, we're just not going to survive this. So it's like, this is the time to go, wake up, wake up, everybody.
Chop, chop.
Yes, you can't, exactly. You can't sleep through this now. And honestly, I would like to. Like, I remember a book called Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. And that's kind of what it's felt like to a lot of people, especially the last 3 years. And the fact is, unless you die and leave your body, you're not getting off. And so to be here and to thrive and to be a powerful agent for good, there's an adaptation that has to happen. There's tools that we can use. And remember, it's all about each other. And that's why I said yes to Stephanie. And that's why Stephanie said yes to my heal event, because we all have to say yes to each other in order to make this work for everyone.
Yeah, I would say I agree. Collaboration is the only way through this in many ways, because we're like these puzzle pieces and keys that kind of come together. And like you said, we amplify each other, and we are able to do things differently when we are willing to collaborate without fear of competition, right? And fear of annihilation for some of us, because we've had other lives where we've been betrayed. We've had, those types of lifetimes. I want to ask you, because I know you are also a channel for the ancients, which we like to say in my platforms of Angelic Summit, because that's part of your team, right? Or your mainframe, let's call it, even though you've had other experiences with other energies and masters that you've worked with. I kind of look at what we're sitting in right now as kind of a rinse and repeat of the Atlantean timelines, but now we're bringing up all the fear, all the lack of forgiveness, all the like, oh my God, we totally screwed up. And it's almost like, are we going to do it again? And there's this fear, right, of the new technologies. There's this fear sometimes of, or not even fear, but doubt, doubt of betrayal, doubt of, is this really going to work? Like just this skepticism and this underlying template of that trauma, I believe, that we're clearing. And what are your thoughts on that as far as, the spiral of life or time as we know it as quantum?
Yeah, well, I think taking it back to the ancients that you brought into the conversation, for me, there's been a huge sacrifice, physically, mentally, and emotionally, in order for me to bring through the ancients. It's almost like I meet people and they say, "Oh, so you're the conduit." And in other words, I'm one of them, and it's taken me many decades to say yes. You can say, yes, I am angelic, from the angelic realm. I am one of the ancients, which is a profound council of light. I'm the bunny in the body. And what I'm doing is allowing all of the other council of light, all of those other masters, to actually have better access to this plane via 3D, right? Because they need to have a voice in order to speak to us. Like, I had somebody drop in this morning, one of my spiritual mentors, and without a 3D body, they don't have a voice, right? So the ancients have been really incredible in what I'm trying to say this because it's very hard to describe what happens when your brain gets taken over. And my brain's been taken over by a light energy crystal. I'm probably getting a very woo-woo here, but anyway, it's okay. We're here.
This is the place to get woo-woo, girl. It's all good.
Okay. So, about 25 years ago, I was a guest note speaker at a huge festival in Australia. And right from the moment I got into the room, my whole body started shaking. My head was busting. I thought my brain was just going to blow out. And for 4 whole days, my cells were shaking like this. And I finally went up to a woman who was trained by Carolyn Meath. And I said, I've got big problems happening here. I need help. Because what was happening was, Steph, I would be walking through this building and people would be falling at my feet and starting to sob, and people would be coming out of their booths and giving me gifts, and the coffee man was going like this, don't come near me, I didn't put in for this, go to the toilet some other way. And like, it was so profound. And she said, oh my God, I can't even come near you right now. She said, you've got half of this etheric crystal that's dropped into your brain, and the next half is going to drop in within the next half an hour to an hour. She said, I'll sit with you until then. And she did. And then I actually physically felt, boom, it drop in. And she screamed at the same time that this dropped in, like she felt it too. And it was like rainbow lights went right through the entirety of this huge building. And it affected everybody in the building. And people were looking at me sobbing, and it was quite an amazing experience. And I'm thinking, okay, what is this? I don't know if I like this. This is powerful. This is too much. And it takes time to adjust to having that kind of information pouring through. And I actually thought I would lose all of my friends because they were so powerful. In Australia, we would say they went for the jugular. Like if you were saying something that wasn't in integrity or that wasn't true, or if other spiritual masters were mucking up, they would just go boom like this. And I'd think, oh no, did that really come out of my mouth? And so truly, for everybody listening to this, to actually be the spiritual masters that we have come here to be, sometimes it means that you have to access so much light that it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But Stephanie, I know you've been through this too. Like you've accessed so much light. You and I will often ring each other on the same day going, are you going through this? Is your head busting out of your, are you hurting too? And I just want you to know that it's worth it. I'm telling you this story because it's worth it. If you're a guardian of light, which you must be if you're on this summit, then understand that whatever you have to go through, whatever sacrifice that you have to make, it is absolutely worth it. And just remember this, you already said yes to it on a karmic level before you got here. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. So we're all living out our karmic soul agreements to be on this planet now. And there is so much fear attached to what we have said yes to because you're already existing in other dimensional realities. You've got past, present, and future lives where you are existing as fully functional, enlightened, whole beings. And guess what's happening to you, right? You're being hunted down. You're being killed as a witch. Your Atlantis is going on. Lemuria is going on. Like all of these things are going on. In past lives, you've been this luminous being, and people haven't understood the light and what human beings do necessarily, they've been doing, not necessarily, but, they have been doing this, is they kill whatever they don't understand, right? Yeah. And so there's so many realities that you are all existing in at the one time. And luckily, your focus is here, 3D, and then rising to a lighter, a stronger light body. And that light body is where you start to lose the fear. So when you decide, hang on, I'm not going to live in this fear. Whatever has happened was a story. It wasn't real. And now is the story, my new story. What's my new story?
Yeah.
Right? What is my new story? So just before we move on, I want to give you all a quantum correction. It's where I move into your unconscious mind and those millions and millions and millions of miles of DNA. And that DNA has very sneaky programs hidden in it that are sabotaging even your conscious mind, because your conscious mind will go, hang on a minute, girls, I'm here. Obviously, I'm a guardian of light. I'm not in fear. And the unconscious mind, which I'm tapping into now, is going, ooh, hang on a minute. Am I really safe here? And so let's just go into the unconscious beliefs, programs, ideas, and stories that each one of us has within our system, and neutralize and delete zero to infinity out of those stories on a quantum level. That means every single level that you are existing on, that all those stories are now null and void, that all of the pain and the trauma and the emotional upheaval and the decisions that you made during those times are now completely null and void, and correct you to be strong to know the truth. You are a high frequency divine being, and you can trust on every level that it is safe for you to be the angel, the guardian of light, the energy master, the spiritual being that you are on this planet at this time. Let's neutralize and delete all habitual thinking, all karma between you and anybody who has ever triggered off any form of fear around stepping into this life of light and love, this high frequency, high vibrational love that emanates from you as you, and then put a forgiveness template in. Let's forgive every part of you that ever thought that it was a fearful place to be, and anybody who ever actually made it a fearful place to be. So completely corrected to be strong. So how's everyone feeling now? I can feel like I start to go like this.
Well, the dogs like it.
We know what's happening, right? When you see that was just like the fur baby going, oh yeah, I've made a shift. So it's very important.
Yeah, no, I could feel that energy coming in for sure. I want to see if anybody's AQ just felt like a little bump. We've been talking about the AQ, I think I've shared with you before. So let's see if there's any numbers that shifted up a little bit from that correction. And we might do another correction because I want to ask you also, right now I feel like we're having this bifurcation between the two worlds and trying to figure out, how does money work? Money is love and energy and all this stuff of abundance, but then in the tangible and the hustle, it's that dredge a little bit. So that's something I would love to talk to you about a little bit in terms of, what you see shifting and what we can do to make this leap into that trust and faith that we're always supported, even when we look at our bank accounts and they might not look that way, right? What are some of your recommendations for that?
Well, this is a huge subject, Stephanie.
I know.
Because
we'll do our best.
Yeah, financial freedom can mean so much. And you're financially free when you can easily pay off your credit cards, pay your rent, have some fun on the planet, and you're supported with food and friends. This is, for me, financial freedom means that you can do all of that without having to be stressed. Now, the majority of people, especially from 3 years ago when everything crashed and burned, actually went into a place of massive fear around money. So whatever you were going through even before that, for instance, our business went like this. It went from a really healthy business of us being of service on a level with live events to no live events and gone, everything gone. And I'm like, okay, isn't this interesting? What's my story around money here? And what do I want my story to be? Now, one of the things I'd love you all to know is that money loves fun. Money is energy. Everything is energy. There is nothing that is not energy. When you walk into a room and you can see someone having fun, isn't that the one you want to go to? Or do you want to go to the one sitting in the corner with the dour face and the heavy negativity? No. You want to go to the fun one, right? And it's the same with money. Money's going, oh, you want money. You want to play with me. You want to recirculate me. You want to energize me. And they're going, yeah, I'm going to be with you, right? And then how you do that is you look at a bigger picture. What's the bigger picture for me? The bigger picture was, we're in deep trouble if we think that we're going to be financially free and pay our rent and our bills if we don't do something. In that moment, we were able to switch everything and to go online and say to all of our beautiful students, hey, let's go online and see what happens. Let's see if it's just as powerful online, doing corrections, meditations, doing all of these things. And let's experiment. And every student came on. Every student is still investing in the work, because what we're finding is it is just as powerful, if not more so, than live. So look, nothing beats being able to hug you. Nothing, right, Steph? Hug Angel. Nothing beats being able to touch another human being. It's such a sacred honor. But when you can switch up and you can look at, okay, what's my financial situation right now? It's here. If I want it to be there, how curious do I need to be? How creative do I need to be? How unique and how many risks do I want to take? And the answer is all of them. I want to take all of them. I was introduced to a light frequency energy healing technology. And I didn't really want to know about it. And all of a sudden, I had a massive healing crisis. This is 3 years ago too, by the way. Interesting, the timing for me, because if I hadn't have had that healing crisis, I might not have understood this. I might not have been curious enough to try and understand this technology. But because I had a huge healing crisis, like bone on bone in my back, 3 lower spine, this is called massive pain. And my girlfriend introduced me to a technology with no drugs, no chemicals, nothing other than light. So in other words, phototherapy, and with a tiny patch. Right, here we go. Everywhere. You'll find them all over my body. I just can't wait to get up in the morning and put them on. Anyway, so what happened was I looked at this and I went, oh, I know I need the product because it's made me pain-free. And for some weird reason, my eyes have lifted and my skin's thicker. And yes, I've got more stem cells. So I'm looking, feeling, showing up in the world minimum 10 years younger. People are saying, oh, you like 20 years younger, which, by the way, I'm almost 70 and I do feel like 40s because of this energy frequency vibration of new stem cells, emotional trauma and inflammation activation, like all of these things that are happening. And for me, it was like, well, what happens now? And I had spent my life, Stephanie, like you, being of service to humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we both look at people who are in pain mentally, emotionally, physically, and we do our work. We do the meditations, we do the corrections, we do everything. And then all of a sudden, this technology became bioavailable to us. In other words, it's available to the human being in a way that no other technology on the planet has been. And I don't think that it is a coincidence that this stem cell technology happened and was introduced onto the planet 3 years ago. Like, how come? Hang on a minute. What's going on? Right? So, yes, it had been on the planet for 17 years before then, but not the stem cells. And everybody knows that stem cells will be the next $1 trillion business. And everybody is shouting about stem cells, stem cells, stem cells for massive healing. But they're also shouting about it, by the way, from big pharma, old technology way, as in, let's put a needle in your body, pull out your blood, whip it up and put the stem cells back in. Like, the stem cells are already in there right now, but they're going to pull it out, whip it up and put it back in. I don't know whether I'm being blonde or not, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so
well, just to interject for a second, what was interesting though, from my original question, what I find interesting though is that we have these new technologies come in, right? Like the halo patches, as I call them, and they're supporting us because this is the thing. I think sometimes people feel like if they're spiritual and they're aligned, they have to do it all. They have to be superhuman and all this stuff. And I always say, if you have a tool that can support you in recharging your body faster or getting you from point A to point B in a holistic way more effectively and efficiently, why wouldn't you do that? And Amalia in my earlier talk, she uses EMF technologies to support herself, with EMF mitigation. And I know all of us who've been doing this kind of work, like yourself, like her, like myself, just because we can do things energetically, it doesn't mean we can't have these extra support tools. And I think that's the thing. It's a really important time to not only collaborate with each other, but collaborate with the brilliance and the genius that's coming in to say, here, we know you're tired. Here, stick this on, right? I
need to interject you because you've brought up two incredible things. First of all, I'm going to finish with the financial freedom, but coming to what you're talking about, I've said to healers, hey, you realize this is available for you to use with your students and your VIP clients, and they've gone, oh no, I'm the healer. I'm going, yeah, you might be the healer, and by the way, not many people go as deep as I go into the unconscious and the DNA, right, on a quantum level. But the fact is that all of us have within us sabotage programs that hands-on healing just can make us feel so good and do such great work. But this technology is so much deeper. This is a deeper technology that goes right down into the divinity of your DNA. Now, I have never said that before. This is just coming through. The ancients are talking to me. There is a part, every strand of your DNA can break down to saying God within a body. And that's the part that these patches work on. They don't work on the sneaky programs in the unconscious that are there. They go directly to the divine consciousness of God within every strand of your DNA. And this is something very, very new that I'm even being told and saying for the first time. And I know that that this is an enlightenment tool that works directly with the pineal gland, which is the doorway to the divine. And that consciousness comes down and through, and it tells the body what to activate, all by a patch that is a crystalline structure of glucose, water, amino acids, oxygen, and other patented things, right? So this scientist has discovered how to activate copper peptide, which is nothing like, I mean, scientists for 60 years, 6 decades, knew that they would find the fountain of youth if they could work out how to activate copper peptide. And there is an incredibly God-focused man in this country who did it. And all I can say is, if you want to know more about that, Stephanie's here, and so am I. But going back to the financial freedom part, I have been in business since I was 18. 50 years. 50 years I've been in business. And I have had world-class and global award-winning businesses in 3-4 different areas. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to working hard, being creative, being able to bring something to the world that is so unique and so fantastic that people love it and they vote it to be the best in the world. And all of a sudden, I've got a patch system where I'm collaborating with angels and collaborating with people in a way I've never collaborated in any of my businesses before. Stephanie, my heart sings every Tuesday when I get on a Q&A call, when I do a free global meditation, when I do introductions to this patch system, because all of these soul sisters and soul brothers are coming on and they're going, hey, and they're wellness professionals, they're doctors, they're really smart people who have dedicated their lives to investing in their own resources, healing, acupuncturists, you name it, all of these amazing people, and they're all coming in and they're all answering my questions. Like I'm doing Q&A and they're answering my questions. They're answering everybody else's questions. And I'm going, what is this? I've never been on a business with that much support. And all of a sudden I think, what is this? This is the new way. Does that sound silly? Because I know network marketing.
No. I mean, I think it's important to know that, we have a lot of preconceived notions about things and how we work together, right? And collaboration is definitely going to be something that people need to start to think about, and even diversification, like getting back to the money factors, because I know that's where a lot of people are dealing with things, the fear in the world, food shortages, all these things, right? And baby formula and the gas prices, I mean, you name it, the crypto going down, all the stuff, stock market, whatever is coming at us, it feels like we're getting like just, I don't know what to do. And I do feel that it's going to take like a legion, like people to come together and support each other and be willing to humble themselves and get rid of the skepticism, get rid of their jadedness about stuff, because if we don't start to do this now, because it takes time, right? But if we don't start to do this now, it's like, where is this going? You know what I mean? Like at some point we have to come together. That's why I create the summit. We have to come together. And what I love about the patches, not to make this whole thing about them, but I do want to say to people, when I created my DNA renewal system, these kind of came in alignment with that because they amplified what I was already doing. And so to me, they're just one adjunct that is available if people require that support, and I provide that with them. But what I do know too is it's light, it's photonic energetics. Yes. So I remember when Sandra approached me about them at first, I was like most people in LA, it's like, I've heard everything, it's like I don't want to hear another thing. And yet what was so funny is eventually when I really listened, not just like immediately put the wall up, but like actually listened to what was being shared. And I was not in a place of crisis about it, but it was more just an openness that had shown up. right?
Yes.
A humility had shown up in about it.
Mhm.
And the photonic energy, she said, Steph, you do your halo, you're all about harmonic alignment light. Like this is like exactly what you do in a stick patch, right?
Well,
Really?
this is the thing that
So
I
it was
love.
just such a like a normal fit that it didn't make sense for me not to do it. And then when I realized that, I went, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
get it now.
We know that Tesla said, when scientists focus on light, energy, frequency, vibration, they'll go further in a decade than they've gone right up until this moment now. And so that's what's happening. We've got scientists who are focusing on this technology, and it's taking us faster, quicker into a completely different space and place. And by the way, financial freedom, getting back to happy money
Yeah.
and money loving joy. Can you imagine that if you were to be able to put together a financial stream, yes, and all businesses take work and they take time and energy, like 3 to 5 years has been my experience. Sometimes in some of my other businesses, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But you start to have a financial stream coming in, and you go, oh, I'm actually earning these checks because I am helping to end suffering. I'm helping to end pain. I'm helping to reverse age and help people get stronger, happier. It's like, what else do we want to do in the world? And every Tuesday we do free. We do it. By the way, when you have another financial stream and you're having fun with money, you can afford to do and give a lot to people, right?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Actually, I wanted to talk on that a minute. A lot of people put all their eggs in that one basket, right? Which is it's good to focus. Don't get me wrong, but then something like a pandemic happens, or then something else happens, and now you've learned, oh, wait a minute, that basket doesn't work anymore for me, and because I can't see my clients in person, for instance, or something like that. So I believe these types of businesses that help people in this way, and community business building businesses, are really designed to give us diversification, almost like you would, have diversification in your portfolio. Same thing in your income streams, because if you're
Yeah.
just doing everything in one and that falls away, and now you have a lot of people who went homeless. I mean, there's a lot of people who now are just like, what do I do? I can't get clients, because all their clients are also kind of in that boat. And that's why I think this is coming in now. And it's going to matter the frequency of those types of companies. I'm not saying all of it's good, but there are certain ones that are. And that's where we get to discern
Yeah.
and find the right partnerships.
You have to use your divine intuition. You have to use your perception and curiosity.
Yeah.
And if the company that you're working with isn't of 100% integrity, isn't 100% the most fabulous income producing stream, why would you even bother? Remember, money loves fun. Also, money being energy, light, frequency is attracted to more energy, light, frequency.
Yeah.
So we've really got a couple of things going on that's the perfect marriage. And I would like to say to all of you, just to add to what you've just said, Steph, get yourself a few income streams.
Yeah.
Because what we want, diversification is really important.
Mm-hmm.
If something fails, it doesn't matter. You've got something else happening. Look at what it is that you need in order to have financial freedom and be happy. And again, financial freedom doesn't mean being a millionaire, although I have decided that I'm going to go into a millionaire mindset and create $1 million in this company, because it's possible to, because that's the payout scheme that they have. But I want to do it with everybody else. I don't want to do that on my own. Come and be a millionaire with me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if we all just went, oh, okay, let's do
Well,
it.
this is what's funny. This is what I because I me, I read other minds that going on. And what's so funny about this is so many people have demonized the elite, right? The one percenters, the people that have money, and yet they're all, needing to make income, right? So it's like, how do you have that work in the same equation? If you're demonizing money or making it bad to be rich, then how do you become even financially comfortable so you can feed your family, right? Like that's the thing. You can't put that consciousness in there and expect to be a vibrational match to it if you're holding high vibration and yet you're making money the enemy on some level, right? In those levels.
And
And so that's another clearing we might want to try to do.
yeah, and Jeanette O'Keefe
Yeah.
just in there, which was really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She's witnessed the support of my LifeWave family,
Mm-hmm.
and how amazing it is. She asked the question in there and people jump in. I cannot tell you how many angels I am gathering into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot have enough angels. No one can have enough angels, because there's so many of the others out there that are not resonating on an angelic frequency, that the more angels you have around you, the more protected you are from all of the negativity. When I've watched my LifeWave family, I don't even call them a team anymore. They're my soul family. When somebody's hurting and somebody says, what will I use for this? How will I do that? People just jump on and go, try this, try that, and they've got nothing to do. I had somebody the other day text me and say, oh, I just enrolled this person for you. I said, you did? She said, oh, yeah. She wanted to enroll under you and you weren't available, so I helped her. And I'm like almost in tears, right? Like this is the,
Yeah.
how do
That's
you
the
find
difference.
a community like that?
Yeah. And that's the difference. That's the difference between people collaborating and competing.
Exactly.
And I think, people will, and it's a controversial subject we're talking about right now, because I know a lot of people get triggered by it. And I'm just going to say, at some point we get to decide to let that go and say, we're going to do this slightly different, just like we can do technology different, just like we can approach things from the light side of things, not from the greed side of things, and know that it's okay to earn money. Because if we had all the light workers in the world wealthy and thriving and philanthropic, and and money was serving through them as the vessels of light, we would have a very different world. But if we keep making excuses, it's just, for whatever reason, on the subconscious, conscious, all levels, then we just become the victims, become the martyrs. You know what I'm saying? We burn ourselves out, and we're always struggling. And I think that's the main, I'm going to just be honest with everybody watching. This was the main frequency that we have just passed through in this eclipse, and all the fire coming in this last week with this Mercury retrograde to challenge us. Are you willing to let go of the old world? Are you willing to let go of the old slave systems that keep you bound to that consciousness that wants to keep you feeding the system?
And Stephanie, in order to do that, they've got to let go of their story.
I know.
Right?
I know.
I was with someone last night and she said, I don't want to sound like a victim, but the abuse I suffered as a child and blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, but you are a victim. You haven't worked. You haven't done the work yet, and not only that, you're projecting what you think happened to you onto your children, and you're creating exactly the same thing in your children. And she was looking at me going, wow. I said, that's the way it works, right? This is the way it works. So we have to say yes to being a light being. We have to say yes to a millionaire mindset, even if it's not that. Why wouldn't you have fun doing that? I mean, I want to question.
This is the thing too.
Fun.
Right, but this is the thing too. People wonder why they don't manifest. And you know what's so funny is when I pulled cards out of this deck yesterday, I don't think you were on here, the Secret Language of Light deck, the first card, right, that I pulled out was manifestation, which was this card. Okay?
Yes.
So look at Old Earth. The new one's up here saying, hello, it's fun up here. This is where we're going, right?
Hello, it's fun up here.
Diamond Earth up here. Like, come on, get in the beam and beam you up, right? Yeah. Transformation was the second card. This is what we're transforming. The world blowing out like a supernova iris. Look at all that eye consciousness, right? And let your light shine. So we can get everybody doing what they're here to do as guardians of light. Like, this is what the summit brought
you actually
forward.
pulled those 3 cards yesterday.
These were yesterday's cards last night.
That's in a nutshell.
I know. And I know that's why we came together in the summit. And I know right now, you and I have very similar intention to empower people, get them into their greater soul confidence. And I know we come from similar lineage, right? And I think that's what's really interesting. You mentioned the architects, I call it the angelic light streams that are informing, right? We come from these creator builder architectural energies, and we're in body, like the bunny in the body, as you said. And we're here to say, guys, let's do this together. We can do this. That's why I create these summits. These summits are not easy to put together. Let me just say, getting beautiful people like yourselves all under one space in one weekend, during the Mercury retrograde, live is like nailing Jello to a tree sometimes, right? It's just like, oh my gosh, how's this going to happen? But I trust, and we do it, and we have our little techie issues, and we get through it, and we persevere. And I do believe the correction here that I feel is paramount is to say, okay, we are ready to let go of that old paradigm.
All right. Would you like to do
we
that?
do that?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's see. And I want to just say in the chat, if you guys have questions for Sandra, there's the Q and Angel little bubble space. You should know that. I put in the patchyourhalo.com. I'll get it on the YouTube feed as well. But the patchyourhalo.com is where you can learn about all these patches we're talking about, the stem cell activators, all of them, just to get an idea. And Sandra, you know, and I are in this partnership together in building this community, and I support her and she supports me. So this is where you can learn about what I call halo patches. It's kind of what I coined them, because that's what they do. You have a funky halo day, stick a patch on, and you're like, I got some support.
An angel would call this technology. And the ancients, for me, I call it my work in a correction in a patch. So, and this is the thing I love about this new technology, is that it does adapt to whatever you are and whoever you are. It is that. So before we finish up today, let's do a correction. And what we want to do is, if I'm hearing you correctly, we're going to do a correction for people to be able to really let go of the old way of thinking and being, so that they can step into the curiosity, the creativity, and the collaboration of doing family business together, like becoming financially free, saying yes to a millionaire mindset, saying yes to happy money. Everything is possible. And by the way, Stephanie, I know we need to do the work. When we say we're calling on a millionaire mindset, we're calling on happy money, we want to be financially free, we're putting in and doing the work. So it's not like we're already finished and we're that. It's that we are on that same journey with you.
Okay, wait a second. I just got an idea. So what I'd like to do is be the surrogate to amplify this for everybody who's going to watch in the quantum time. I know you do this anyway quantumly, but there's telling me to run the light streams.
Yes.
So I'm going to just run the light streams through my system while you're doing the correction, directing it through me, but it's going to go out to everyone for sure in an amplified way, they're saying.
Yes.
Do you do that?
I do.
And serve as the little guinea angel.
But also I'm going to add something to it now.
Yeah.
You're going to be the surrogate for the entire group and anybody who watches this now or in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to be a surrogate for you, because you're going to be the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put an Eon patch. Now, this is about deleting emotional trauma, like a correction, and inflammation. So I'm taking one of these patches out. There's 30 per.
I want to tell you which ones I came in wearing, and I just want to share a little bit too. I know I get so excited. The carnosine.
Yes.
Right. I want to tell you guys, scientifically proven to improve organ function. I think I read by 84%. The company says different. I read 84% in the action. I went and did the research. You know me, I'm like research green. And in 2 weeks. So if your liver's taxed, your kidneys are taxed, your adrenals are taxed, there's certain things that it works on. It doesn't need that. So yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So now I've got this patch, and what I'm going to do is I've never done this summit's so much fun. Well, I'm going to patch myself as a surrogate for everybody and you as you're doing light stream. And we're going to do what specific correction, because I think that you've got in mind a very specific one.
So the specific one I have is that we are actually now aligned to the new frequency of abundance that is this diamond earth version, or harmonic sovereign abundant levels, right? So we're not in that grind, I got to earn and all this stuff. It's just like, and it's coming in.
So this is going to be the happy money financial.
All the happy money energy, money, love energy.
So for those of you who are watching now, put in the chat, like when you think about financial freedom, when you think about having a millionaire mindset, when you think about being financially free, what's the challenge there? Like 0 to 10, 10 being, that's not for me. That'll never happen. That's for everybody else and not for me. 0 being completely neutral and going, I like the sound of that. What number would you be? So I put the number in the chat, because what we're going to do with this quantum correction is create a shift from where you are now to where you want to be. And
so we call it in my summit the AQ. What's your AQ? What's your frequency? What is your vibe? 1 to 10 right now, right? Is that what you're asking? Kind of like done music and Megan.
I'm 10 being I don't trust that I've got a millionaire mindset. Money's not flowing in my life. I'm like, right, it's like there's trauma and there's challenges around money. That's
okay. 10. So we're in the opposite wave. So it's like 10 is like you're in the doldrums. 0, you don't have that issue at all, right? So we're just kind of think of it that way, just to correct you guys.
Okay, good.
Because they're used to going like 0, 1, they're like crap, and 10, they're high. So I don't even know. It's a little different, but it's the same, just slightly different.
Well, the reason why I do 0, because 0 is neutrality, and neutrality is another word for enlightenment, which is where you become the silent observer of what is without being triggered. So 0 and neutrality for me is a very important place. And let's get you there. So Stephanie, I'm going to put this on.
Okay.
Just taking the little back off without touching this precious thing. And I'm putting it on here, right?
Okay.
So now, having put that on, hang on, just have a sip of water.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Patch, hydrate, heal.
We are such angel nerds, and I know everyone's like, what are they doing? But, I love doing this kind of stuff. This is what we would do without you guys watching.
But so let's now go. So, Stephanie, I'm just, you can be a surrogate for everybody in this summit.
I'm going to tune into the Diamond Earth grid and just the builders.
And close your eyes and let the white light come through. Yep. So, Stephanie, I'm just testing you. And yes, you're strong to be a surrogate, strong to be a surrogate for everyone in the summit and whoever will be in the summit, but also strong for yourself to actually receive this quantum correction and the massive shift from this little patch that we just put on, right? So let's just go into your systems, everybody, and neutralize and delete 0 to infinity out of your systems. The beliefs, programs, and ideas it's people with money are greedy. People with money are abusive. Money is abusive and greedy. Money is evil. I'll never have money. I've always been a pauper. Why do I need money? I've always struggled with money. I'll probably always struggle with money. I don't have financial freedom. What makes me think I can have financial freedom? Wow.
Money is a trap. That just came in.
Oh, believe me, that I was getting so many past lives for everybody. Then with dropping in was like, being a pauper, and then also past lives about you guys having been very, very wealthy and having abused the wealth and not sharing the wealth and really making it a hardship for the people in your towns and your little villages. So, and making decisions from emotional trauma that I'll never have money again as long as I live. It's dangerous for me to have money. It's dangerous for me to be in the light, to be seen, to be heard, to have the money. Wait.
People gunning for me because I have money and taking me out.
There you go. Same thing. Yeah. So see, this angel, she can't help herself. So let's just neutralize and delete all of that and everything else known and unknown to us on a quantum level out of your system, mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, and spiritually, and give you 100% infinite potential to be corrected, to be strong, to know the truth, that you are high frequency divine beings, and you can trust that it is safe for you to have a millionaire money mindset. It's safe for you to be financially free. That money, and let's actually go in to the brain and to the neuronal pathways that have got this habit field of thinking, all of those other programs we've just neutralized out of your system, and bring in a brand new karmic soul agreement. And that is, wow, money flows to me with grace and ease. It is so easy for me to be curious, collaborative. It's so easy for me to be in the grace and ease of money flowing to me. Money is divine energy, attracted by my divine energy. Everything I do and say leads me to the freedom, the fun, and the joy of being able to make money, be financially free, and lock in my millionaire mindset. So this brand new karmic soul agreement dropping in, all other soul agreements gone, deleted out of your system. Let's put let's neutralize all karma between you and anybody who's ever made you feel that you're not good enough, not smart enough, that you can never do it, that money's not for you, sneering at you, saying that who do you think you are? You can't do that business. You can't do any business. Whew, all karma between you and anybody who was reading your script and sabotaging your ability to know the joy of to be in a collaboration and a business that supports you, whichever that is, your coaching business, the patch business, whatever business you are in. Let's completely neutralize and let all karma, and then let's go to the heart center. So focus on your heart, and in this moment, put a forgiveness template in, which means every cell in your being now is feeling the relief and the freedom of you forgiving yourself for ever criticizing yourself, judging yourself, believing all of those stories about lack and not being able to be financially free to be true, and then forgiving everybody in your life who has ever fed into that story and stolen from you, betrayed you, taken money from you and not paid it back. Anybody who has ever bought into your money stories that has not uplifted you and allowed you to be full of grace and ease as you manifest money, completely forgiven now. Okay, everybody, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, Steph?
Good.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like there was a thought that came through and then it's gone now. So now I can't tell you, and it's fine. It's clear.
Don't you love it? Yeah. So 10 being still challenged. What shift have you made, everybody? What number are you now? So and as you're putting the numbers in, I'm just going to give you a perception correction, because a lot of people can't perceive that shift of energy. They can't go, oh, but that was my story. So let's correct out of your system any belief, program, or idea that says, what would I be without my story? It would be dangerous. Full anxiety about hanging on to the story, completely gone, and giving your perception correction to perceive the shift to zero. Money, wow, how much fun can guardians of the light have on this planet? And I read a little book and it said being in the presence of God. And it was about a monk from 300 years ago who was so joyous in the presence of God. And he got so distraught because the more joyous he was about being in the presence of God, the more abundance flowed to him. And he kept thinking, I'm a monk, this shouldn't be happening, but didn't stop. God's rewards continued as his joy continued to be in the presence of God. So to finish this from me, I just want to say to you, find the joy of being in the presence of God, because every strand of your DNA is telling you the divine is you, is in your body. Stephanie, I just want to thank you so much for allowing us to have this fun time together.
Yeah, no, that was wonderful. And you know, one of the things that I would say, everybody, is I know sometimes we feel the spiritual, because there's so many here that do work in the spiritual, you know, isn't getting as valued as other things. And I'm just going to say that's changing. And it changes with your consciousness about it. It changes with you. And just like Sandra said, we take accountability for our divinity within, and we know who we are, then we value ourselves. And it's part of that self-devotion and love I talk about. And so I want to say, everybody, how lucky are we to have gone through this?
Well, what an experience. Yeah. And I'm just looking in the chat at these beautiful people. And first of all, I want to thank everybody who's already a client or a student of mine and who's in my Life Wave business with me, for being here and showing up. And then I love the way we were feeling people were saying, yes, I made a shift, like you were getting it. And this is the work, everybody.
Yeah.
Getting neutral is the work.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Getting into what I call that sovereign state where you're really free from all the states of consciousness, so unconscious, subconscious, super, you're really in the state of peace. And this is how we do it, different methodologies. And Sandra is one of the best at what she does. And I'm just grateful to have you here, beloved sister.
Love
I want to say to everybody, I put the patchyourhalo.com in there. Feel free to check that out. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I will invite you into Sandra's groups, and we will have some fun, and you can be part of our family, and it'll be good times had by all. So definitely do that if you're interested. And you can always ask me questions. Get in touch with me if you have any questions first too. But Sandra, thank you for this time together. I will send you back to your halo cloud of bliss with your beloved Daniel, and give him a hug for me, please.
I will. Thank you, everybody. You are so loved. And as I say at the end of every one of my posts with total sincerity, there is so much light, love, and support here for you. God bless.
Yes, absolutely. Love you, sweetheart. We'll see you soon. Say bye, everybody. All right. And Sandra, feel free. We're going to end the session. We have about 30 minutes in the lounge. We can always answer questions in there too if you have the time. If not, I will go in and answer some questions.
I tell you what, I'm happy to go in there for another 5 minutes. I've got a whole family waiting. I've got 7 people waiting for me to go over and cook them dinner. Which, by the way, I've been cooking for my family of my daughter and her family of 7 for the last 2 weeks. And I just love doing it because I'm in the presence of God, but I'm really looking forward to driving home tomorrow.
Honesty.
Yes, of course.
Well, also, we'll see you, VIP Angels. We'll see you in the lounge. And for those of you on YouTube, just check it out on the link I sent you, and we will find each other. You can also go to theangelhead.com and find me there if you want to learn more. All right. Okay. And I will see you all in the lounge in a minute with Sandra, and we'll see you in the next session. Let's see. We are coming in at 5:30 p.m. just so everyone knows on YouTube when to be back on YouTube. 5:30 p.m. with Daniel Holman, the beautiful artist that has made all the art for Angelic Summit. Accessing the gray stream with angelic art will be our topic, and I look forward to that. So thank you. We'll see you in a minute, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Yes.